Welcome to this guide on economic indicators. Today, you'll learn about 3 fundamental metrics that shape our economy and influence your personal finances: gross domestic product, unemployment rates, and interest rates. These indicators work together to paint a picture of economic health, and understanding them will help you make smarter financial decisions. Whether you're planning to buy a home, invest your savings, or simply want to understand the news better, these concepts are essential building blocks of financial literacy. Let's start with gross domestic product, commonly known as GDP. GDP measures the total value of all goods and services produced within a country during a specific time period. Think of it as the economy's report card. It shows economic health and growth by tracking everything from smartphones manufactured to haircuts given. GDP is measured quarterly and annually, allowing us to compare economies globally and see whether an economy is expanding or contracting. A growing GDP generally signals a healthy, thriving economy. GDP is calculated using a specific formula. GDP equals C plus I plus G plus the quantity X minus M. Let's break this down. C stands for consumption, which is all the spending by consumers on goods and services like groceries, entertainment, and clothing. I represents investment, including business spending on capital and equipment. G is government spending on public services and infrastructure. Finally, X minus M is net exports, which means the value of exports minus imports, showing the trade balance. These 4 components together give us the complete GDP picture. Understanding GDP matters because it directly affects your life. When GDP is growing, there are typically more jobs available, wages tend to increase, investment returns improve, and there's overall economic optimism. People feel confident about spending and investing. On the flip side, when GDP is shrinking, we often see job losses, reduced income, market volatility, and economic uncertainty. GDP growth influences employment opportunities as companies expand and hire more workers. It also affects your investments, since stock markets and retirement accounts often correlate strongly with GDP trends. The second key indicator is the unemployment rate. This measures the percentage of people in the labor force who are actively seeking work but unable to find employment. The formula is simple. Unemployment rate equals the number of unemployed people divided by the total labor force, multiplied by 100. There are 4 main types of unemployment. Frictional unemployment occurs when people are between jobs during a transition period. Structural unemployment happens when there's a skills mismatch with available positions. Cyclical unemployment relates to economic downturns and recessions. And seasonal unemployment fluctuates with the time of year, like reduced construction work in winter. The unemployment rate has real consequences for your financial well-being. High unemployment means greater job insecurity and potential income loss, which directly affects your ability to save and invest for the future. It often causes people to delay major purchases like buying homes or cars due to financial uncertainty. Conversely, low unemployment typically signals a strong economy with better wages and more favorable borrowing conditions. When unemployment is low, workers have more bargaining power for salaries, and there's generally more economic stability. This is why economists and policymakers watch unemployment numbers so closely. The third crucial indicator is interest rates. Interest rates represent the cost of borrowing money, primarily set by central banks to control economic activity and inflation. Interest rates play multiple roles in the economy. They determine borrowing costs for mortgages, car loans, and credit cards, making financing either affordable or expensive. They also affect savings returns, influencing the interest you earn on savings accounts and bonds. Central banks use interest rates for inflation control, raising them to slow spending when prices rise too quickly. Lower rates encourage borrowing and business growth, acting as economic stimulus during slow periods. Interest rates have a significant impact depending on whether they're high or low. When rates are high, loans and mortgages become more expensive, making it costlier to borrow money. However, savings account returns improve, rewarding savers. The stock market may decline as investors shift to safer, higher-yielding bonds. Consumer spending typically reduces as people face higher credit costs. On the other hand, when rates are low, borrowing becomes affordable for homes and other purchases. Savings returns decrease, offering less income to savers. But stock markets often experience growth potential as money flows into equities. Low rates also encourage increased business investment and expansion. These three indicators don't exist in isolation. They're deeply interconnected in the economic cycle. GDP growth, employment, and interest rates work together to paint a complete picture of economic health, and changes in one often trigger responses in the others. For example, strong GDP growth typically leads to more jobs as businesses expand. Central banks then monitor this growth and adjust interest rates to maintain balance and control inflation. If the economy grows too quickly, raising interest rates can cool things down. If it's sluggish, lowering rates can stimulate activity. Understanding these connections helps you anticipate how one economic change might ripple through to affect your finances. Let's recap the essential points. First, track trends by monitoring these indicators regularly to anticipate economic changes that might affect you. Second, make informed decisions using economic data to guide your investments, major purchases, and career moves. Third, stay flexible and adjust your financial strategy as indicators shift over time, because the economy is always evolving. Finally, keep learning, because economic literacy truly empowers better financial planning and gives you confidence in your decisions. Understanding economics isn't just for experts. It's a practical tool that helps you navigate financial decisions with greater confidence and achieve your long-term goals.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit CodeLucky.com for more such useful content.